Every beginner messes this one thing up when they come to putting concrete around their fence post. So we have these two 4x4 wood fence posts. Hold on, let me just stop you there. Yes, we don't use wood fence posts anymore. We use the steel ones. But today we're using wood because that's what most of you guys are used to. So obviously, if you're gonna put a fence post in the ground, you need somewhere to put it. It loves to be in a hole. I'm looking for about a 12-inch diameter hole. Unfortunately, they just got that loaded for a job. That would have been nice to use. But that's okay, this builds character. A couple tips to digging a hole. You want to try and keep it nice and cylindrical all the way down. You don't want it like an ice cream cone. You want a nice cylinder. And the other thing is, you don't want the dirt, throw it in a wheelbarrow. That way you don't have to move it twice. 30 inches. Now don't forget, if you're gonna use a power auger, you gotta pull all that loose dirt out of the hole. So this is what you're supposed to dig it. A 12 by 12, I recommend on everybody to go to a minimum 30 to 32. And if you're in an area where you have deeper frost, maybe you gotta go deeper. Okay, hole number 2. So now I'm gonna show you the way that most people do it and their favorite tool, and it's this tool. They're not very big. All the way across, we're talking, inside to inside. If I can keep this hole the same all the way down, 6 3/8 by 5, that is not very big. You see how much concrete is gonna be around this post? That's not gonna be very much concrete. So here on the standard size hole, you can see it almost looks like my hole's oversized. You want to have as much concrete all the way around as your post. You want to make sure that your fence post is going to last. Okay. I wonder if we're there yet. 29, 3 more inches. So here's another disadvantage to doing a small hole like this. If you tell me that you could dig these holes and put them in a straight line every time, that'd be a miracle. And I've never seen that. This hole might be shoved this way a little bit and you don't have any room to move. One more thing about wood posts. And we talk about them all the time about how they warp, they rot, they twist. The other downfall about wood posts is these right here. These knots from the bottom. Hey, look at that. That's right at the top of where ground is if we set this all the way on the bottom of the hole. So this right here, even though it's part of the post, it's a weak point. Okay, let's go get a wheelbarrow, a bucket of water. I looked for a bucket and I couldn't find one and I got tired of looking and I found this. We're gonna start with the small hole. We're gonna mix 1 bag of concrete and I think that's all it's gonna take for that hole. I don't know, I've never done this before. I'm a rookie when it comes to setting bad fence posts. All right. There's our 1 bag. It doesn't take much. And since all we have to dig the hole was post hole diggers, I think this is only fair. I was gonna do it all the way through. Is this killing you? So even though if you're gonna mix concrete and you only have post hole diggers, you're either gonna have to have a concrete mixer or a shovel. So that way you can get this done. There's a lot of rental places that'll just rent these little concrete mixers. Go get yourself one of those, rent one for the weekend. That's really thick. The typical way that a homeowner would, or a first timer or a rookie would mess this up, too much water. A lot of people just don't know, because I've never seen one person measure out water. They'll just add too much and then it'll start splashing around and start making a giant mess. We have a little bit of water left right here, so we can get that mixed in there, but we can see that it's no longer just like a little wet rock and sand. It actually has some flow. We want flow because we want the flow of the concrete to flow around that post. How tall a fence are you building? You're building a 6-foot tall fence. Your post doesn't have to go all the way to the top of the picket. It just needs to go 66, 6 inches less than. We don't run our post all the way to the top. So since that concrete's a little wet, I should be able to just to push this in there and let it come up the post just a little bit because I didn't throw too much in there. If you're struggling getting your post down to depth, turn it and wiggle it around. I'm not gonna use those braces to hold this post steady. Okay, that looks about right. Here we go with more concrete. You can see the disadvantages of having a small post hole. Everybody that thinks you have to put the outriggers on or the supports on to stable your post, you can see this post isn't even trying to move. I mean, can I move it? Yes. If I have brace supports nailed to this post, I can't move it like this. And what I'm doing right here, I'm getting that concrete to fill the whole entire void. It wouldn't be me if I didn't set it level. And you can see how I can still level this post up just fine. I don't have any gaps in my concrete. We are good. My first time in all my fencing history, I just dug my very first 1-bag post. All right, here we go. Now I'm gonna show you how much concrete you do need. And guess what? The bag says it too. Has anybody ever read the back of a concrete bag? Anybody? Follow the chart, it tells you how many bags to use. I'm gonna demonstrate what 2 watery looks like. So I'm not even really turning up any concrete. All you can see is water. Okay, it's mixed. You can pour it, and you will need those supports that they were talking about on the bag. You're definitely gonna want them for this kind of mixture of concrete. That bag says it's gonna meet or exceed 4,000 PSI. This won't. This is too wet. A helpful hint there, if you've never mixed concrete before, try to stay away from garden hoses. Garden hoses are gonna lead you astray. So you're not gonna have any idea how much water you're putting in there. Try to use a 5-gallon bucket. And then it's gonna be just like you were doing earlier. You're just gonna go back to that whole mixing thing. You can see just how that concrete is sucking that water right up. It's about just perfect. And I threw some in there. And you can see how I can just throw that post right in there. That's what we call stabbing the post. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and take the rest of my concrete and pour it around. I'm all the way to the top of the ground. Maybe I was just a little under 12 inches all the way around, and maybe that's why I have just a little bit much. I mean, I have maybe like that much extra concrete in there than what I really wanted. Now I can hear you in the comments already. There's no way you need that much concrete. Have you ever gone back and looked at the fences you put in? Yet again, I can move the post around with force. Do I need the outriggers? No. Would I have to come back and check on this post? Yes. Just check on it, make sure it's still good. It's never gonna get wetter than this. It's gonna start getting harder. So it's only gonna stay this wet for the next few minutes and it's gonna start drying out. If you throw dirt on top of your concrete, that's just gonna help suck that water out even more. I don't like exposed concrete balls. I think they're ugly. I like to see them down below grade. That little bit of dirt, you put it back on top of it. During the wintertime, that's gonna really just lock everything all in place. And then just tamp the dirt as you move the post and you take your foot. All you're doing, you're just trying to push that concrete back to that post to make sure that there's no cavity. Now these 2 posts look exactly identical above ground, but you and I both know they're not. We're gonna come back tomorrow and we're gonna play with this one and see if I can get this to somehow pull out of the concrete. Now give us a few seconds to pay a couple bills with a quick message from the fine folks sponsoring today's video, and we'll be right back.
One of our fences is never finished unless it's got our sign on it, which is our seal of approval, and we trust that to nobody but J.C. Gurry. This is our old sign, and when we decided to franchise out, we needed to rebrand, and J.C. Gurry printed this beautiful new sign for us. And they do a lot more than just these signs. They do yard signs, they can do security signs, landscape signs, and our industry is one of the very few where we sign our work, and this is like a warranty for us, so it's a big deal. And we trust that to nobody but J.C. Gurry out of La Habra, California. We had to switch sign companies a few years ago. We had used another company and we got some proofs back that were terrible. I'll put a picture right here where you can see what these look like and you can see the very clear difference in the quality. And since then, we've been using only J.C. Gurry. Link down below. If you guys need great signs for your work, whether you're a carpenter or anything, signs is their deal, stickers are their deal. They're amazing. Mary and Mark are great people. Give J.C. Gurry a call. They're the best in the business. If you need a sign, they've got you covered.
So the question is, why does the concrete have to be so thick? Why does it have to be so wide in the hole? Because take a look at this concrete. This is just a sidewalk. You can see it's only 3.5 inches thick. A sidewalk is meant to walk on. It's not meant for a lot of stress. You start introducing dump trucks or excavators, it's not gonna hold up to that weight because it's not thick enough. There's not enough concrete strength. If you wanted to hold up to that kind of standard, you need to start adding more thickness to that concrete. Here you can see that the concrete completely crumbled and collapsed because it's not thick enough for the weight that it was holding. Same thing with a fence post. It's the same concept. If your hole diameter is too small, your concrete around that post is going to turn into this. It's going to do the exact same thing, and then when that concrete breaks, it's going to then have a wobble point. All right, so this is the moment of truth. 24 hours has gone by. We have two identical posts. I just want to see if I can somehow get this concrete to fail and be able to pull this post out of the ground. I'm getting more movement out of this one than I was this one. The force that I'm putting on this would be no more than your average nice windstorm. This one is dead level. This one is just on the edge. I've dug all the way down beside this thing. I want to push this post into this open hole so we can pull it out. And there it is. You can see that crack all the way down. So the concrete's already broken. You can see it on this side. The people that want to be naive and say, well, that's because you didn't let it cure all the way. I let it cure 24 hours. But as you can see, that post came out pretty easy. How come this one moved and that one didn't? It wouldn't be fair if I leave this one in the ground. To further my point, we're gonna dig this one up too. You know, fence posts that are done right are a pain to dig up. Okay, we'll see what this one looks like. No. A well-set post, you should not be able to pull out of the ground. And that's why I have to go get a piece of machinery. I brought my machine. So if any of you guys ever call into the SWI store and you get Keenan, this is Keenan. And that's how hard it should be to pull a fence post out of the ground. Hey, thanks.
Yeah.
Now, some of you may say that concrete's still pretty green. It's 24 hours old. If you read the bag, no undue stress or strain until 24 hours have lapsed. We did that. I don't see any fractures in the concrete whatsoever. You can see one place where I hit it with the postal diggers. I see nothing.
Go ahead and pull it off like you were doing the other posts. Okay.
I have a problem. It's not coming. So is 4 bags of concrete too much for your fence post? No, it's too much for your little 6-inch hole. But that's why you're only doing 1 bag, because it only takes 1 bag to fill that 6-inch hole. You need to dig a bigger hole, you need to put more concrete in it. Or go to a no-dig option, and you don't have to mess with concrete. It's Dan with SWI. We are Wyoming's Fence Company, and we hope you have a good dang day.